I'm Ted Keyes in Pasadena, California. Welcome to my Tuesday conference call, a free high-powered meeting I hold live every Tuesday for top producing freight agents. Go to tedkeysonline.com for complete call information. Then join us weekly to see new, serious, struggling, and experienced sales professionals move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. So watch my recorded call topic highlighted there on your screen right now. When you're finished, go to tedkeysonline.com and hear more podcasts. Read more blog posts, watch more videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. Enjoy watching and applying my Tuesday conference call.
Again, guys, welcome again to my Tuesday conference call, where every Tuesday, as usual, I show you how to move more freight successfully. Now, this Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the upside of rejection. The upside of rejection. How many times do we feel like we've been rejected? I've actually, in our profession, when we talk to carriers, when we talk to the marketplace, we receive objections, but really objections can be a form of rejection. They're objecting or they're rejecting you for a reason, but believe it or not, there is an upside to rejection. Now, I have sent out a number of attachments. My goal, my desire is that everybody printed those out. What I'm going to do is go over each one individually. As usual, if you look over the first attachment that I sent out, you'll see our agent leaderboard. This is from January 2015. Again, this is the last time you'll see this, guys, to see who's all on there. Congratulations to you winners, or obviously to you producers that are way up on top in each category. February 2015 will look a little different, but your goal every month is to be on this leaderboard. It would be for me anyway. Anyway, let's move on from there. Let's talk about the upside of rejection. Let me just go ahead and read this first document here. And that is, if there was one topic I would say I have the authority to discuss, not only myself but many others, it would be rejection. Believe me, I'm from a family of 13 kids. I'm right at the end of a group of brothers, right in the middle there. Imagine the rejection I faced as a child growing up with 3 older brothers ahead of me. So I'm I'm very experienced in rejection, but let me read on. Throughout my journey, I've faced many ups and downs. At times, the downs seem more than ups, which can be overwhelming. Rejection has historically been viewed as a form of failure. How many times have you felt that your performance was good enough only to find yourself looking for the answers to your unexpected rejection? Getting rejected is a part of life and something all leaders, not just leaders, but followers must accept. Rejection is one of the most brutal stakes to the heart because it deals with a direct hit to the ego. There are few experiences more painful than being rejected. Dealing with rejection can be tough. A lot of people choose physical pain rather than being rejected. Our basic human need to belong causes these incidents to stick with us throughout the years. Glory seems to be the farthest thing from rejection. They are flat-out opposites. Little do most people know it's the flip side of the coin. When I say glory, I mean the upside seems to be the farthest thing from rejection, which really means there is an upside to rejection. Now, let me read on a little farther here. Often the people who you think have it all are people who have endured the most rejection. Believe it or not, the people that are successful in our society, whatever profession it is, they have endured the most failure, they have endured the most rejection. Not everyone who's on top today got there with success after success. Their beginnings weren't always smooth, and they often had to face great obstacles and ridicule. The one thing people have in common, though, is their approach to dealing with rejection. They don't let the naysayers hinder them. They may get knocked down, but they regroup and come back better and stronger. More than often, they share one characteristic in common, and that is the commitment to their own success. Rejection is unavoidable in a creative life. Dealing with rejection keeps you from plummeting into a place of immobilizing despair. So, there is an upside to rejection. So let's deal with tips. Let me list several tips in dealing with rejection. Now, again, we are to a certain degree rejected when we contact and build relationships with the marketplace. Not everybody is going to want to deal with you. That's why I continually say build your contact list. That's one of the reasons why I say it, because not everyone will want to deal with you for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. There's just no perfect connector out there that can deal with every single individual. So, in that form, we are rejected. Now, people don't come out and say, hey, I don't want to deal with you. They just ignore your emails, they ignore your phone calls. But that's okay. Don't take it personally. Just move on to the next. So let's talk about tips to deal with rejection. The first one, have a vision and don't let anything deter you from it. So take courage and put full steam into the next opportunity you're working on. Abraham Lincoln has a great quote. It says, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. That's your first tip. Your second tip is keep a positive mental attitude and stay motivated. Pick up the pieces and dust yourself off. Furthermore, don't keep complaining about it. Don't keep focusing on it. Some of you folks, you call me with these issues. And the first thing I want to do is get you off the issue and on to the solution. If you keep focusing on the problem, that's going to get you nowhere. The goal is to focus on the solution. So, as it says, pick up the pieces and dust yourself off. Don't keep focusing on it. Don't keep complaining about it. When you keep picking at a scab, the wound will keep bleeding and you'll never heal. Oscar Wilde says, believe in yourself and there will come a day when others will have no choice but to believe with you. Third tip, there are valuable life lessons that you must learn in dealing with this particular form of rejection. These lessons will equip you for the next phase of your journey. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And believe me, with any problem, any challenge, there is something to learn. The point is, will you focus on what there is to learn? Will you focus on the solution or the problem? That's what the question is. I can't get you to focus on the solution. All I can tell you to do is focus on the solution. That will get you closer to the solution. So ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Is it time to pick up the phone and connect with more prospects when one or more of them rejects you or objects to you calling to them? Third tip, nothing happens before its time, except that it wasn't meant for you at that point in time. When we get rejected, we trap ourselves in a moment of doubt and distress. Don't feel sorry for yourself and slump into an attitude of self-pity. The next tip, rejection gives you time to evolve and learn from your experiences. Focus on your personal development every time you feel you've been objected to or you feel that you've been rejected. Focus on your spiritual, emotional, mental, social, and physical development. The next tip is don't take it personally. Rejection is not a measure of your self-worth. When somebody rejects you, they're acting on their own insecurities and fears. Just think about it. When you're rejected, you're not the reason. It's the person that's rejecting you that's the reason. Once you can wrap your mind around that, it just makes it so much easier picking up the phone and connecting with more and more prospects. Steve Palvina says, if you want something, ask for it. Accept the risk of rejection and summon the courage to ask for it anyway. Next tip, don't overthink the rejection. Don't torture yourself repeatedly, reliving the moments of any sort of humiliation that you feel took place. Don't beat yourself up and keep replaying the circumstances surrounding the issue. Next tip, give thanks for the bullets you dodge as a result of being rejected. Because you were rejected, there were certain bullets that you were able to dodge. They're bullets that you may never see, but just keep that into account. Just think that God was keeping you from dealing with a certain situation or an individual because God was protecting you. There's one great way to look at it. Next tip, guys, be aware of your reaction to being rejected. Life isn't fair, so develop thicker skin. Don't let anyone's opinion of you change your attitude or take away your smile. Adversity may make or break you, but it certainly reveals you. Last major and important tip on dealing with rejection, have faith and trust God to direct your steps, not only out of it, but into your next situation where you will be successful. Things may look dismal, you may get disappointed, but don't be discouraged. When one door closes, open another door. Keep opening. People that are successful, this is what they did. And in order to be successful, this is the process that everyone must go through. So when things look dismal, don't get disappointed and don't be discouraged. When one door closes, open another. Keep opening. Sooner or later, the right door will open. Guys, this is the way how it goes. You have to keep opening doors. You'll mature and be better prepared to function in your new role as you become more and more successful. It's all part of the process of growing, guys. So I'm going to give you 5 benefits of rejection, or the upside of rejection. The first one, it gets you fired up, is it gives you something to prove. Harrison Ford, in his first film, Ford was told by the movie execs that he simply didn't have what it takes to be a star. It added fire to the fuel as it gave him something to prove. Now, I don't know what that first film was. Obviously, it wasn't a groundbreaker, but let's put it this way. Think of what we would have missed out if he had not accepted it and kept moving forward. Just think of all the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies and sequels that we would not have enjoyed and be entertained by had he not accepted rejection and moved forward. Another benefit of rejection, it makes you more creative. When you are rejected, if you focus on the end result, it allows you to be more creative. Here's a great example. In 1919, Walt Disney was fired. Again, this is Walt Disney was fired from the Kansas City Star. According to his editor, he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. What do you do? What did he do? Always find ways to market yourself and your service. So even Walt Disney was rejected and even told he lacked imagination and creativity at one point in his life. Here's another benefit of rejection. It makes you work harder. Here's a quote by Michael Jordan. I think by not making the varsity team, this is in high school, guys, but I think by not making the varsity team drove me to work at my game and also taught me that if you set goals and work hard to achieve them, the hard work pays off. Quote from Michael Jordan, who was actually cut on his high school varsity basketball team. Another benefit, it develops your character. Your response to rejection shows how you respond when things don't go your way. Are you able to let go, or do you become resentful? You'll also be more supportive to others when they're facing similar struggles. Last benefit of rejection, it builds strength. It builds strength. Abraham Lincoln is remembered as one of the greatest leaders. However, rejection followed him much of his early life. It did, however, prepare him to handle ridicule in the public eye. And if you ever read about Abraham Lincoln, he suffered just a series of failure before he became the president of the United States in 1861. So, to wrap this all together, remember, although the road may seem long and winding, there is a prize waiting at the finish line for you, and all those who rejected you will have to join in applauding you. Never give up, for you just may be one step away from achieving your dream. So, being rejected, being objected to, being thrown to the curb, whatever it is, it has its upside. You've got to be able to see what that upside is if you're going to benefit from being rejected. Let's move on to our next attachment here, and that is, remember, when you're calling prospects and customers, the number one word that all humans hear from the time of birth until age 18 is no. That's the number one word that we hear from the time that we're born till the time that we're 18. Now, some of you require it. You've been told no, but unfortunately, this is ingrained in our minds. But here's the thing: be aware that this is the case. Be aware if somebody says no to you. Okay, all right, I get it. Find a way for them to say yes. It's that simple. But also be aware that's the most popular word we hear from the time we're born till the time we're 18. The question is, will you accept it? That's the question. Will you accept it? Hang on a second here, folks. Okay. Let's move on to the next attachment, and that is, some of you might be facing these right now. Brick walls are there for a reason. They're there for a reason. They give us a chance to show how badly we desire something. If you feel you've been rejected, you feel you've been objected to, you feel you're hitting a brick wall, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to give in? Are you going to, lay down at the wall? Or you're going to work yourself through it? You're going to work your way over it? This is life. Think back to other indications that you face growing up, not moving freight, but in other areas. You hit brick walls. Are you going to accept it like most of society and complain and whine and grope and groan? Or you're going to find a way through it or over it? But they're there for a reason. It shows how bad we desire to get through something. They're there for a reason, and believe me, when you find a way around or through or around, over brick walls, man, it just adds to your level of experience. Speaking of experience, on the next attachment, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. Typically, that means failure. Experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. That's what experience is. Because typically when we don't get what we want, we gain the experience. We remember failures and rejection much more often than we do the successes that we face in life. That's just the way it is. So experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. Also, you hear this said all the time, good luck. Luck was on your side. Well, believe me, there's no such thing as luck, because luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. In reality, there's nobody lucky in life. You're lucky because you're prepared when the opportunity came. That's what luck is. We could say that George got lucky covering his first load. No, George did not get lucky. George prepared himself when the opportunity came. He prepared himself by picking up the phone and making contact with a shipping decision maker. The shipping decision maker, through the words of George, put George on his freight list The freight list went out. George posted the loads. A carrier called him. George covered the load with the carrier and got the load from his customer. That is not luck. George prepared himself, and he met the opportunity when it came along. That's what success is. It's when we prepare ourselves for the opportunities when they come along. So there's no such thing as luck. Let's move on here. Let's talk about opportunity for a little bit. It's everywhere. Believe it or not, opportunity is everywhere. Even when you're objected to or you're rejected, there is an opportunity there. So opportunity is everywhere when you know where to look. You might say, well, where do I look, Ted? Every opportunity is different. What it comes down to is your awareness to the situation, and are you going to accept the fact that there is always an upside to anything downsized? There's always an upside to failure. There's always an upside to rejection. There's always an upside to an obstacle. There's always an upside. Typically, it's experience. Take the experience, move on, and utilize it the next time that opportunity comes along to you guys. And let's finish off with something I want you to engrave in your mind every single day. I know you successful top producers do this. Just think every day, my loads are improving and increasing every day. If you think that your loads are going nowhere and that you're not covering any loads, well, guess what happens? Your loads are going nowhere and you're not going to cover any loads. But if you think that your loads are improving and increasing every day, guess what happens? You're gonna see opportunity. You're going to exploit opportunity. You're going to find ways to improve and to continue to increase your loads, which are, as I said, improving and increasing every day. The thing is, you have to think it first. You have to think it first. If you're thinking, oh, poor me, then your loads are not going to improve and increase. But if you have the feeling that, hey, this is happening, I'm doing a great job, you're just going to look and sound that much better when you pick up the phone and connect with the marketplace that you currently have and the new one, the new marketplace that you're currently connecting with on a daily basis. So, the upside of rejection. Remember, there is an upside of rejection. There's an upside of failure. There's an upside of why you didn't get that load today. Here's the thing. You may say, well, what is it, Ted? I don't know. You have to be in the game. You have to figure that out on your own.
You've just taken a tremendous step forward by watching and applying my Tuesday conference call highlight. Do you desire to earn and learn with our top freight team and Christian-based office? Yes? We're searching for a self-starter who's serious, motivated, and ready to take action right now. Is that you? Go to tedkeysonline.com/contacts and enter your contact details. We provide top-notch freight agent sales training to you. Then you deliver those same skills with confidence to the freight industry marketplace. I'll talk to you soon.